Well, today we're here to talk about purposeful or intentional parenting. There's some values, some habits, or kind of skills that you want to teach your children, and you feel that if they get to learn them, if they get to know them, they are good to go in this world. They're able to maneuver through life, whether you're present or not.
Yeah.
And
these are generally values that we're going to instill in our children, sometimes knowingly, and that is intentional parenting, and sometimes reactive parenting, where it's not really your intention, but somehow they get to learn these values.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and we need to acknowledge that purposeful parenting is not easy. Therefore, you need to be sober while doing these things.
yeah.
So you need support. You need like a system that helps you to instill these values. We know very well that as one parent, you're not able to do these things. You're not able to teach your child everything. You can't be it all. You can't be the good one. You can't be the bad one. You can't be the one who disciplines. You can't be the one who loves. You can't be the one who does everything at once.
Yeah, because it contradicts.
Yeah, kinda. You will reach a time and contradict. First of all, another disadvantage of doing it alone is the fact that you may fall sick. You can fall sick, and who is going to be there to watch over the children? You can maybe run out on income. Your job can go, and you have no way of teaching your children to work hard, and then you also need to work hard, and then you don't have even what to work hard from, things
You have no
like
one
that.
helping you out.
You really have no support. So we're trying to say that in this kind of purposeful parenting, you need help, you need collaboration, you need cooperation, you need a co-pilot as you're driving.
If we look
these
back,
points.
Abaganda used to say, over they say, omwana yakuzibwanga kyalo.
True.
Because there is something they would learn from the neighbor, something they would learn from fellow kids, something they would learn from Senga, the Senga who is living with you, something they would learn from the maid, from the Jaja, kwegamba. For example, you would be coming from school and then they expect you to greet. If you
people
don't
on
greet
their way,
someone, agenda
kujakulope. Tambuziza ne basooka bakudisciplininga.
Yes. So that helped us somehow. Newe yasanganga omwana wo nga alina kyakola ekitali okay. Yaddanga n'agamba.
Yes.
Bane nasanze n'omwana wo gwe naliwa. But nowadays it's as if people think basobola okwekuliza abaana baabwe buli kamu amuyigirize empathy, amuyigirize kindness, amuyigirize
kindness to who even? If you're teaching me to be alone. So anyways, it's true, omwana yakuzibwa kyalo. Tugambe nti otandise okukola parenting. What are some of the closest people that you're going to reach out to? Nti, you know what, I want my child to learn this, but how, like, where do I start from? Nowadays we have things like churches. They give us like guidelines. Omwana oyina omusomesa engeri y'okusaba nti asaba ku makya oba sometimes these things give us guidelines. Kuba naffe oluusi tuba tetulina plan wadde tuli bazadde twagala kubeera era purposeful nga tetumanyi naffe wakutandikira. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
What are some of the values that you would wish your child or your children to learn that are very important in this world?
Personally, I think honesty is the most important thing to me at the moment. I don't know if it's at the moment, but it has always been very important to me.
Yeah.
I don't like my child lying to me because I want to know what she's really going through, So for me, honesty has always been so important. You lie, you're beaten in my house because it's very, very in core, I want to be sure about how you're reacting to things like, do you like this? Do you hate this? Did you go here? Did you talk to this person? Did you do this? I want an honest answer.
And even as you grow up, it helps you in accountability.
Exactly.
At your workplace, with your wife, with, as you're growing.
Lies are never okay.
Yeah.
There is even a time I told a friend of mine that I feel like most of the sins on earth are from lies.
That's how most people survive.
Someone is going to commit adultery. Asooka kulimba. Asooka kulimba. Anabba ku mulimo twembazo money. Asooka kulimba. It's lies here and there. So if we teach our children from way down that lies are not acceptable, probably they will get it.
Okay, well, one thing for me that I really, really want my child to learn is not to easily give up. You know, in this kind of world where we're exposed to a lot of things, you feel like success is the only way. If I don't succeed on first attempt, I am definitely not, this is not definitely not going to work out for me.
Yeah.
So I feel like my child needs to know that they try. Uchiba chiganye ngawe watambula ng'oli muto n'ogwa n'ogwa okitegeera ngawe watambula n'ogwa, you can still do something until you learn it. So you don't easily give up. When it fails, then we shall know it has failed, you know, after the various attempts. But not giving up is a very important factor in life, because eventually whenever in life be try and error.
Of course.
Yeah, you try and fail. So if you don't master anything, then you will not be a master at anything.
Yeah, and even if you fail this term, this particular subject, that really mean
that you failed at it.
Or maybe you failed chemistry in that particular term. There is no hope for you. You know, never to give up. Try again.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe responsibility. Yeah. Being responsible. Teaching our children the value of responsibility. I mean, responsibility, for example, if I were trying to instill that in my child, I have to first be intentional about it.
Yourself as well.
When I'm teaching the child, I need to be sure that ndimuchi practicing and ndimuchi munyigiriza. Sometimes there are parents who are doing it intentionally and the ones who are doing it tamanyiti abadde akikola ne kale nchikola, you know. For example, if you tell your child wova mbuliri bwale, that is really expected of you. Bwale. If after eating
make sure
clear
that
the dishes, after then wash your utensils. Okay, there is always something I have to do. Like there is some kind of responsibility. And besides that, there is somewhere I read and they were like, this teaching our children responsibility and teaching them chores at work, it makes them feel like they are valued.
Of course.
You know, and they are involved in whatever is going on at home, right? They feel like I'm also contributing something. Yeah. And you would really want that. And if they're
not around, they know that you're not having that done because I'm not around.
Yeah, so they grow up being individuals who know that no matter where I go, I need to apply something. I need to apply myself somewhere. Yes. I need to do something to show that I am involved, you know?
Yeah. I would also want when a child is really kind. You know, in this kind of world that is full of depressed people who don't know what they want, people who are just there and there, everyone needs someone who is kind to them. Sometimes people need someone who's kind.
Yeah.
So kindness does not, mean, maybe just being kind to the people you know, or your parents or your relatives, but also the ones that you don't know. If you find a builder, on the way as you're going, it doesn't mean that because he's a builder, he's an irresponsible person in society. Obata aina mugaso, oboro kubata ata oyesi builder, nolowooza nti oli wabata yambadde saati oba yambadde ebikyaafu nti he's irresponsible. They need to value everyone in their capacity.
Yes.
If you've gone out, you've seen a waiter, he's serving you, you have to make sure that you're kind to them, because I mean they're also people like you. They're also human beings. So you need to teach your child to be kind, because it's probably that thing that someone needs to be better or to make their day brighter or something like that. And this is well practiced if you as a parent, you first do it. You first have to do it yourself, such that the children, because these children are monkey do, they see you doing these things. They see you ngobogoledde waiter, waitress, nagamba, okay, that's the way to go. The next time they will do the same.
Yeah, they do. Oh my
they
God,
do what do. They notice. So going zokuba oli mu mood zo embi.
Exactly.
No, and then you're instilling something bad in your child. So you need to be so cautious, even when you're not in your right mood. Treat people kindly, and then he'll also learn. He or she.
Of course. I have always wanted to teach I teach her sharing. Sharing. As simple as it is, sharing is a good thing. I mean, I don't know, considering society now, neighbor abantu basobola osuulayo ebintu n'abisuulayo mu kasasiro
Atayagala kugabako
gwasobola obbiwa. What if your neighbor likes them oba wants them? Niye ne neighbor wabanga ye kenyini si yabyagala. What if maybe abakozi be balyoko birya? I don't know anything. Okitegeera?
Yeah.
Even if it's not that, even at school. Banyange, me have been in boarding and you can't survive without sharing in boarding. Kubanga wekagweramu ngobadde to sharing oba wedde. You know, so sharing
you
for
can't
me,
be independent.
Yes.
No man is an island. Yeah.
So we usually tell young babies, bako, you know, and something like that.
Yeah.
You're showing them that you're supposed to give somewhere. Bako, okay. Even as kids,
China, yes.
you can see them playing, and then you want to teach them how to share. And also sharing can be broad in the lines of share your idea.
Yeah.
You know, what do you have in mind? What do you think? You
Speak
know?
out.
Yeah. So what is that type of parenting where the child is allowed to speak as opposed to toyogera,
Keeping quiet.
ochitegera, not allowed to share.
Don't tell me what
anything.
I don't ask.
Yes, because I think we're brought up that way, where a child is not meant to speak unless spoken to, and that is it. But I've realized nowadays it's as if kids have their own way.
Off. Yes, it weighs them off.
Yeah.
Like the burden is too big that sometimes they need to offload it.
Yeah, so they are allowed to
by
share,
telling.
not just sharing what to eat or something, but also to share their ideas.
And
what
also
they
their
think.
emotions, what they feel. Yeah, that's true. Well, something else that we can teach our children is learning to stand up for themselves when the worst comes to the worst. You know, we speak of kindness, but there are those kind of children that are bullied. Like, for example, when you're bullied, are you just supposed to take it in? Because, I mean, they told me to be kind. They told me to just not react, you know. They need to know where to draw the line.
Yeah.
That, you know what, nze oyogera ku mama wange, nze omba nkukubirawo ekikonde. Woyogera ku maybe relatives wange oba whatever. Oba maybe wonvuma kino wonvuma omuntu omunene sina buzibu naye vuma ku mama wange. They need to know what really means important, what is really important to them, such that they can draw their lines and then stand up for themselves. So this character can help you, or this kind of value can help you to know, because in this world si buli omu ali going to be kind to us, that in the world out there things are going to happen to us, but you need to know how to react, when to overreact and when not to, when to intervene and when not to intervene. Yep.
That is really important. Kubanga peace loving people usually
are the ones that are affected the most.
Yes,
yeah.
Peace loving. You can bring up your child being ali so peace loving, ali so down, and so caring, naye nga bamulinyirira. Okitegeera naye olina okumukuzanga, at least omugamba nti there is a thin line between being used, okitegeera, you know, and something, because wobanga tokimulaze ajalowooza all the time it has to be kindness, and this usually happens for people who are brought up their children in a Christian setting. Bambi omwana abamanyi that is it, I should never speak back, I should, moreover world gye tulimu naffe tugiraba. It is a competitive world, and if you don't speak for yourself, or you know kubanga osobola okola ki,
in addition to that, we actually, it's also help, we also should teach our children to know when to say no, in addition to standing up for yourself. For example,
and it's okay,
yes, and it's okay to say no. When you decide to say no, it's okay, stand up for it. So I'm looking at an example where you have to share, like you have your bread and then people have begged you because you're too kind, you share and you give everything away and you don't even have anything left to you. So you need to know that munange nze wensalako half nembawa mwe mumanyi nze half endala yange, you know, that's the limit of my sharing half. Sigina kutolako half yange ate nziremu mbawe. So they need to know when to say no, such that they can also guard themselves or their kindness.
So another value would be gratitude. Hey, people, that thing is very important. Very important in society. We are in a world where people newamukolere ekirungi, somehow it goes unseen, it goes unnoticed, you know. people need to learn gratitude. So for me, that is one of the most important things my child has to learn. I remember there is a pastor who was giving us an example, and he said, a rich man gives you money, akutta obukadde 10, agamba nkuwadde genda otandike ka business, or even your parent or something, kwata kweri 10, jako okole ki, omuwerezeyo akalabo mugambe neyanzege. Oba kitegeera, oba someone gives you something and then you're no kubako never you even send something natakuweereza de
because
I've received, thank
because
you. You see, so gratitude. So we need to teach our children gratitude. That is what I think in most African homes, knowingly or unknowingly, we have taught their children, or we have taught our children how to say thank you at all times, whether being given a meal, whether being helped with something, we have been taught to say thank you. It's small, but people sometimes bachibusa maso, but it's important.
Yeah, another thing could be contentment and appreciation. When you know, as human beings, actually, we usually want what we don't have. Bakugulidde ebyokuzanyisa byonna, amamotoka, amamundu, biki, naye kali eri wakapiira kebatakugulidde naye omwana wa neighbor kayina kobeera oyagala. So you need to teach your child that
is so important.
You need to teach your child that these things that you have are also important, you know. You need to appreciate the fact that oli tebasobodde bimugulira nze nsobodde obikugulira, okitegeera. So there is an example that I saw from a lady. She was saying that her son was over demanding for a certain toy that she couldn't afford because it was very expensive, but instead she tried to show the child the good things that she does for him, you know, like as a way of diverting. But it helped because she was like, there's a certain guy, or maybe a neighbor of a rich man's a child of a rich man who is able to have this toy that you want, but his parents are not present. They are not even going to be with him, maybe at school functions. They're not going to even encourage him with this and that. They're not going to cook together. They're not going to be involved because they bought for him the toy. And me, who has not bought it for you, I am here, I am helping you do this, I am helping you with this and this and this, you know. And he was trying to tell the child that, what do you prefer? Do you prefer me buying for you that toy and not being present in your life? Or me who is here and I'm doing everything else apart from the toy? What do you prefer? And of course the child thought about it and said, oh, actually, you know, what I have is valuable as well. Mama wanga abeerawo, she's doing the most for me, but just because she can't afford doesn't mean that I am supposed to live an unhappy life because my parent can't afford. So we need to learn to be content, and you need to show these children the good things that they're already experiencing. Show them that other children do not have a father. Other children do not have this kind of privilege. They're not even able to go to school. Show them the street children who are unprivileged, you know, on the road, and show them that they are so privileged to also have whatever they have. Yeah. Such that they can appreciate and also be content.
We can teach our children is empathy.
Yeah.
You know? Empathy is so important. It can be tested in so many ways, right? If you can ask your child, what would you do if I told you I'm sick right now? Or you can even act it out. Like, oh, I'm very sick, I'm not feeling so. Like you're trying to teach them, see. You know, it's intentional to see how they will react, you know. Or you kind of act like you're crying over something. Or in actual sense, you're actually crying over something. Try and observe your child's reaction to that. Oh, it's okuzala like a psychopath.
Ngo okaba seka. Tingo omusomesa.
Aba yazaliwa bwati oyo aba jerize. Okay, so anyway, like empathy. Nabeera nga amanyi nti bambi. For example, the empathy can be seen in how they treat each other as siblings. For example, there is a time I saw my daughter trying to cover the young one. I was like, oh, yeah, but she just felt like, you know, yes, there should be some kind of things that show you empathy, and that you have to look out for it. Yeah, you have to emphasize them. Even another thing I look out for is maybe in movies, I tell her, so how do you feel about that? Do you feel sad? Mommy, I'm so sad. Like, why would she
Beat this
yes.
one.
Oh, you see? So that's how you're looking out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You overemphasize. Yeah. Well, another thing we can teach our children is problem solving. In a world where we have a lot of things to solve, everyone needs to be a problem solver. Starting from school, they always teach us, like in math, we are solving problems, as we get out of school, we are solving, we don't even know what we are doing, but we are trying to work things out. Or when you even get things to do, you need to solve things. When you go to work, you need to make things done. So problem solving is very key, and this can be taught, especially as children. You can give them maybe like hard puzzles to solve, not really hard, but things that rhyme with their kind of intelligence. Yes, you give them games, those workable games that teach them to think, that teach them to use their mind, and they learn to solve problems. Then you can also create problems. You make something, like you can pull out this drawer and pretend as if you don't know how to put it back, and then give them the challenge to try to put it back, and then they'll think it out. So you're doing practically, trying to teach them how to solve.
I have an example. There was a time my daughter's bag joined on somehow
zip.
So she saw me trying
to make zips.
She saw me practically trying to njitereza, and she was like, "Mami, nawe tugule indala." I was like, "Nedda baba. Whenever you see something is not right, try to make it
fix."
Right. Yeah. What you get? Ningezaako. So waita wakabanga her book. It's as if she covered and then some pages were starting to fall out. I saw her fidgeting. Afunye gundi, afunye cell tape. Agezaako. Mami, they can't tell you. It's okay. No, it's okay. I know, she was preventing me, and thank God she prevented me, because me, I was telling myself, I know what to do. Me, I'm the parent. But I let her, I let her, and she solved that problem of, child chief, but of course she didn't do a very good job.
She tried.
But she tried.
So we need to overemphasize. Do you remember how we used to spoil pens? Like your pen would get spoiled. No kubaka na kantu, no gezako no andika kutaka, no gezako. Like we used to try to solve the problem all the time. So yes, something else we can teach our children is how to love. The only way you can show love or teach love is by actually loving. When you love your child, you show them that you love them no matter what they have done. They have done something bad, tell them, you know what, you knocked me, you knocked the other friend of yours, but I still love you. Actually, I even love you because you even apologized. I love you because, like, you're trying to show them that in good situations, I love you. Even in bad situations, I love you. So they can always count on you all the time, because they know that in this world, I'm going to go out there in Pambane. Naira, still I have someone that loves me constant.
Of course. And then also love is shown. Even you as parents at home. How do you behave? How do you react
to each other, to your partner?
To your partner. They need to see love at home. Yes, to your maid, to people around you. How do you react when things are not going your way? Love is really shown more than taught.
Of course.
So you need to look out for that, because they are really seeing. These kids are really observant. They are. So maybe another thing would be patience and perseverance. Like, you need to teach them to be okay with waiting. When it is not yet your time, relax, wait, sit, you will be okay. It will get to you.
If I bought for your sibling, it doesn't mean that you need to
see it at church. They try to teach them, because they tell them, sit where you are, sit where you're supposed to be, we are bringing the biscuits to you. And you see how someone has to go in front. Someone to go. But but somehow, because they see that the other kids are also sitting around, but possibly because you teach them patience from home and to be okay with it. Perseverance is where you it's not that when your child has demanded, at that same time
kyolina okumuwa like waba agambye mami enjala enuma mugalindamu sawa za lunch tezinnatuuka oba emmere tennatuuka. Then something else that as we conclude that we need to teach our children we need to not to give them everything.
Exactly.
What I mean is we don't need to have they don't need to see abundance. Abundance in a way we think is good, but it sometimes doesn't help in the future. For example, when your child thinks that nze nkuliddemu abundance, you know, buli kyenjagala weekiri, you may have, you can afford, you can do everything, but creating kind of scarcity is very good for your child, especially when they go out there in a situation nga toliiwo ofudde oba you know you've gotten a challenge, maybe financial situations, and then your child tamanyi kubeerawo nga talina. You know, you need to show them that when we have, we have. When we don't have, it also happens. You need to know that bibao. They need to be able to be responsive in all situations.
Contentment.
Yeah.
But I think that is a value that is has been taught maybe in less privileged homes or in medium class homes.
Even when you're not less privileged, you can create
because in the privileged homes,
intention.
I've seen those kids.
We're talking about purposeful parenting.
They be weird. They think they have this sense of entitlement.
But that's what we're saying. You have to teach your child not to feel when they ask you for money for something, tell them I have, when they want maybe pocket money of 20,000, tell them I have 10,000.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. If you don't want, you can leave it, you know.
And their values are so many, we can't exhaust all of them.
Yeah, we can't exhaust all of them. You're right.
Know, teaching them good manners, teaching them how to appreciate good manners. But there are so many.
Finally, we need to be the role models. So all these values that we want to teach them, are we also practicing them? Are we also learning? Because we're also not perfect. But are we trying to do it? Are you trying to be kind? Are you trying to be empathetic? Are you trying to save? Are you trying to solve problems? Are you trying to... These children, are you honest? All these kind of values that we want to teach them, we also need to be role models. And by doing this, we're impacting both purposefully and also through the copying that they do. So these are a few values that we have. In case you have any, you can share with us in the comment section. In case there's that thing that has worked for you and your children, also feel free to share with us. Otherwise, that's it for today. Thank you, and
like, subscribe, and please comment.
Bye.
Bye-bye.